Thanks for joining us here at the home of Franklin D. Roosevelt National Historic Site to talk about how one of the most challenging periods in American history, the Great Depression, impacted one of the most important aspects of everyday life, food. And today we're actually going to be making a recipe that highlights how the Great Depression impacted food. And this recipe is called Wacky Cake. Now, what makes this cake wacky is that it doesn't have any dairy ingredients. It first became popular during World War I when food rationing made dairy products hard for some people to get, and it came back in a big way during the Great Depression when, again, dairy products were hard for people to get or hard for people to afford. And this cake tastes surprisingly good for not having eggs, milk, or butter. So let's make it. All right, now let's start with the dry ingredients. We've got flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, salt. We'll just give this a little stir. Next, we'll move on to the wet ingredients. We've got vinegar, vegetable oil, vanilla, and water. Now we'll stir it up. So you may be wondering what else was popular during the Great Depression aside from Wacky Cake. Well, for one thing, white sauce was big. People like the food economists at Cornell University promoted white sauce because they thought that the combination of milk, flour, and butter was very nutritious. And white sauce could be poured over everything from meat to pasta to vegetables. Also popular were loaves. They were popular because they took a certain amount of one ingredient and they could stretch it to feed many people by using fillers like breadcrumbs or oats. And some of the more familiar ones to us today are ham loaf or meatloaf, but there also were some weirder ones that were out there like lima bean loaf or peanut loaf. Also, casseroles were big. They allowed people to get the most out of their leftovers by repurposing them into a different dish. And whole wheat toast was another big one. Whole wheat bread became big for people who were looking for extra nutrition in their food. So recipes with toast were very popular. All right, this looks like it's just about mixed. So now I'm going to pour it in an 8x8 baking dish and then put it in the oven for 30 minutes at 350 degrees. On behalf of the National Park Service sites here in Hyde Park, thanks for watching, and we hope you try out this wacky recipe yourself.